There are people in life who won't celebrate your success. They smile to your face but quietly hope for your downfall. They act like they're on your side, but behind the scenes, they twist your words, spread rumors, and stir up confusion. They get jealous over small things, compete over nothing, and secretly enjoy seeing you struggle. Some people want you to doubt yourself. They want your confidence shaken, your spirit drained, and your peace disturbed. They speak in subtle ways, not loud, not obvious, but enough to plant discomfort in your mind. And before you know it, their toxic energy starts to affect how you think and how you feel. Sometimes it feels like you're being attacked for no reason. You didn't do anything to them. You were kind. You tried to help. And yet, someone talks behind your back, turns others against you, or treats you like a threat. Why? It's not always because of what you did wrong. Sometimes it's because of what you're doing right. Your light irritates those still hiding in the dark. Your peace feels offensive to those who live in chaos. And the enemy knows it. Especially in the workplace, this can show up in subtle, painful ways. Someone might spread lies about you to your boss. They may twist situations to make you look unreliable. They might even isolate you from co-workers, turning them cold or distant without you ever knowing why. You're pulled into meetings to defend yourself. You find yourself drained, distracted, and disheartened. And no matter how hard you try to stay focused, your performance suffers. Not because you're incapable, but because you're constantly in survival mode. But sometimes the attack isn't obvious, it's subtle. Some people won't confront you directly. Instead, they make you the punchline. They find small ways to embarrass you in front of others, to paint you as someone less capable, less worthy. And often the very goal of that subtle attack is to provoke you, to make you react, flustered and off balance, just so they can watch you squirm. And in that moment you may find yourself speechless, not because you're weak, but because the shock freezes your thoughts. That's not failure. That's a normal human response to unexpected humiliation. Here's a simple but powerful response strategy for moments when you're caught off guard. Step 1. When you're suddenly confronted, your instinct may be to respond immediately, but in doing so, you risk losing control of the moment. So don't rush. Stay composed. Repeat their question calmly, as if you're clarifying it. Not to answer it right away, but to buy yourself time to assess. Was this rude comment accidental, or was there intention behind it? Step 2. If you sense clear intent to undermine or embarrass, don't answer directly. Instead, return the question with a question. What made you ask that? Or, can I ask what you meant by that? This subtle redirection prompts the other person to reflect on their motives and wording, without you ever losing your composure. You shift the power dynamic. You regain control of the conversation. If the intent to embarrass is obvious from the start, you can skip step 1 and move straight to this second approach. And when you speak, do so without smiling, without frowning, neutral tone, minimal words, as if to say, I'm not rattled, I'm not entertained, I'm simply uninterested. That quiet confidence often leaves the other person feeling frustrated because they failed to get the reaction they wanted. But even more important than any technique is the mindset you carry within. Goodness is greater than malice, always. Hostility is small, petty, sad. When you see someone's cruelty not as a personal attack, but as a reflection of their own lack, you realize how little it actually has to do with you. And in that clarity, their mockery loses its sting. But why would someone try to publicly humiliate you? The answer is often comparison and control. They feel threatened when you shine. Why do they get the attention? Why do they seem so confident? So they try to cut you down, to feel tall. Some do it to gain power, to feel in charge or superior. Some are simply hiding their own insecurity and attack first so they won't be the ones attacked. Why do people do this? Often, those who work hardest to tear others down are carrying deep insecurity. They feel threatened by your competence, your peace, or the quiet strength you carry. So they act out of fear, fear of being overlooked, fear of being replaced, fear of not being enough. They manipulate quietly like a game of chess, planning, positioning, pulling strings. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your presence exposes what they don't want to face in themselves. And what about you? Why do you stay quiet in those moments? Because you don't want conflict. Because you're thoughtful. Because you second-guess yourself. Did I say something wrong? Am I overreacting? But none of that means you're weak. It means you're careful. It means you care. And when the attacks are subtle, it's hard to believe they're even real at first. You second-guess your instincts. Maybe I misunderstood. You hesitate to speak up, afraid it might make you look overly sensitive or difficult. So you stay quiet. You keep working. You try to rise above it. But over time, that silence wears you down. You need to know this. Your consistency is not going unnoticed. The very fact that someone is trying to sabotage you means you are seen as a threat because you are strong, capable, and respected. There are people who still see the truth through the noise. And sometimes the strongest response is not to react, but to remain steady, doing your work with integrity without needing to prove anything. The moment God starts moving in your life, opposition will rise. But not all attacks are the same. Some are a sign you're on the right path. Others are distractions meant to pull you off it. That's why discernment matters. There's a difference between a spiritual battle and a petty battle that's not worth your time. Some situations you pray through, others you walk away from. You're not called to fight every person who misunderstands you. You don't have to defend yourself against every rumor. You don't need to prove anything. God sees, God knows, and when God is your defender, silence becomes your strength. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Exodus 14:14. And remember, someone else's words don't define your worth. Their voice is not your mirror. There's another kind of drain that's harder to notice. The person who only comes to you when they need something. They call when they're stressed, when they're angry, when they need to unload. And you listen. You care. You give your energy. But when the roles reverse, when you need someone, they're suddenly too busy. They cut the call short. They disappear. And you're left holding your own hurt, alone. These people often treat others like emotional dumpsters, using them for comfort but offering none in return. So ask yourself, does this relationship give me strength or steal it? You don't have to cut them off, but you can create distance. You can protect your heart, and that too is wisdom. And in moments like this, it helps to pause, not to react, but to realign, to step away from the noise and speak to the one who understands. Dear God, grant me the wisdom to discern between good and evil, and the grace to remain composed when faced with unexpected attacks. Help me to see through such moments with clarity, treating them not with anger, but with calm indifference. Teach me to care for myself, not only for others, to recognize when I am neglecting my own well-being in the name of kindness. Heal the quiet wounds I have carried in silence, and remind me that protecting my peace is not selfish, but wise. Surround me with people who carry light, who build, uplift, and inspire, those who reflect your goodness in how they live and love. We can't avoid these people completely. They're in families, at workplaces, even in churches. So what do? We don't fight fire with fire. We protect our peace by letting God protect us. Let's return to God, not just for wisdom, clarity, strength, and peace, but for protection too. Dear God, I come to you today, asking for your protection over my life. Shield me from those who wish me harm, from those who bring jealousy, gossip, and confusion, and from those who hope for my failure. Make me invisible to every plan meant to harm me, and let every negative word spoken against me fall powerless to the ground. Protect my mind and spirit from the weight of negative energy and toxic intentions. Lead me away from traps set by others, and guard my steps so I do not walk into paths that would steal my peace. Surround me with your light and let your presence be a shield around me wherever I go. Help me to walk in wisdom, courage, and calm, trusting that you are fighting for me. God, I trust you, and I rest in your protection. Thank you for always watching over me, In Jesus' name, amen. That's not just a prayer. That is a declaration. That is warfare. Because when you say, God, I trust you to shield me, you are removing your enemies from your focus and placing your attention on the one who can actually protect you. The word says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. Isaiah 54:17. Yes, people may form weapons, lies, gossip, betrayal, manipulation, but they will not succeed because God will not allow what was designed to break you to prosper. And here's what matters most. You are hidden in God. That means you don't have to be loud. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to match their energy. Let God hide you in His presence. The Psalm says, for in the time of trouble He shall hide me in His pavilion. In the secret of His tabernacle shall He hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock. Psalm 27 verse 5. Ask God to make you invisible to every evil plan, to hide you from jealous eyes, to make the enemy's strategies ineffective, to let their words die before they reach your ears. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't need everyone to understand you. You just need peace. And peace is not something people give. It's something God guards. You are not weak for walking away. You are wise for choosing peace over drama. You are strong for not fighting battles God never assigned to you. Let me remind you what the word says. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purposed to overthrow my goings. Psalm 144. There are people who are intentionally trying to disrupt your path. But God says, I see it, and I will protect you from it. Even when you feel hurt, used, or misunderstood, God is using that pain to elevate you. What they meant for evil, God will use to strengthen you. Remember this: whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. Proverbs 26:27. Let them dig their own holes. You stay focused. You stay quiet. You stay faithful. Don't waste your time trying to prove your worth to people committed to misunderstanding you. Sometimes all you need to pray is, God, remove this person from my space. Let their words have no power. Let their presence lose its influence over me. Let their poison never enter my soul. Then lift your head, keep moving, because God has already gone before you. He is blocking what you don't even see. He is covering what you didn't even know was vulnerable. You are not unprotected. You are not alone. God is not just standing beside you. He's fighting for you. And finally, hold on to this promise. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Psalm 91:4. That's your protection. That's your confidence. That's your covering. So walk forward today, not anxious, not angry, not defensive, but grounded, calm, and confident, because the presence of God is surrounding you, and no darkness can overpower his light.